Hello. I hope you have watched Jesus, Mohammad, Religion, Both Arabs, parts 1, 2 and 3, and Social Affairs. Today I'm going to address the 5 basic precepts of good living, which are the commandments from an unseen being, the creator of water, the maker of our world, and us. Everybody knows the basic concepts of do not kill, do not steal, do not covet, do not lie, which is bearing false witness, and do not commit adultery. I have already explained those. Now we're going to go into a detail of each of the 5 commandments, which are basically good precepts for living. I told you that we won't take the first 3 because we have to leave room for the modern day atheists to have their wishes and their needs and their belief. But I have looked at some of the web posts, and even the atheists believe in science and the other stuff, but they don't come down to the basic fact of their existence without water. If our body is made of 80% of water, per the Big Bang Theory by Sheldon and the other doctors who are having a fun time and giving us entertainment, no Big Bang can ever create happiness. A Big Bang in our current day world only causes havoc, chaos, bloodshed, murder, annihilation, unhappiness, misery to those who are left who are not killed in the blast. And it is rampant worldwide. Now that is the basic precepts of do not kill. You take a life of somebody else, and that is all that people think about, because do not kill. What of the other extensions of do not kill? Do not kill the hopes of a child because of the fact that they are innocent. They want to educate themselves. They are deprived of education, and the parents are the ones who sell them off when they are young to their partners who are often old and ugly and insufficiently endowed to even take care of a child. How about killing her dreams? How about killing her hopes? How about killing her future? How about killing her innocence? How about killing her ideas of a free world? Of killing her ambitions to be somebody of respect, of somebody of value, somebody who can contribute to society. Giving them an education can also provide them with the means to think, but by destroying their chances by getting them married and as child slaves to some man somewhere, it destroys their chances of even being considered useful in society. There are 2 religions. One religion specifically targets the denigration of women, and that is Islam, and that will not change because the minds of men are afraid of the power of women. While that exists, no woman will be given freedom to think. And it is in all Arab countries, and it is everywhere where then you think of kill in the terms of plagiarism. Somebody gets an idea, somebody makes music. The person not only kills the man's income, if that's his only source of income, because that's his music and he has created it. How about plagiarism of thoughts? You take the ideas and words from somebody else and you say it is yours. You kill the creativity of somebody else because you have claimed what is not yours. Killing is not just per se a knife and blood and the end of a life. It is also killing every other aspect of a person's social importance. You get an idea and you have the numbers to follow you, and then You take that person's idea and you give it a background with your rank and your status, and you say that you're a leader of a religious community, and then you kill the smaller person who has had the same thoughts and the same ideas and has said the same thing, but you give it a flourish because you have the money, you have the wealth, and you have the numbers to give them importance, and the small person is crushed and is removed from the face of competition. Killing somebody else's business, hegemony, it's also talked about, where the big corporations will ultimately wipe out the smaller corporations. Killing a person's ability to be able to survive and to do a clean business, where he can sell his products in his little shop, but he is a competitor because his personality is better than the person in a conglomerate or a mega company which kills a small person. So killing is not only just blood and knives and taking a life, it is killing the attributes of whatever some other smaller person in some other part of the world has tried to do to aspire even for recognition, killing the recognition of another person because of the fact that that person is unknown. You take a person's music, because I'm a musician, you take a person's music and I create my own music. I don't rob anybody else's music because I don't think it is right. Because then it comes under the other commandment, do not rob, do not covet. But we are dealing with the subject of kill at the moment, and you kill a person's creativity. You take it, you change it, you're a DJ, you add some flashy music to it, you're a photographer, you add some flashy pictures to it, and you drive that person out of the picture. You kill that person's personality, you kill that person's creativity, you kill that person's ambitions also to want to be someone heard in a world that has its own selection of people because they are by country. Now, like, I am very fortunate because I have met up with Reverb Nation, and that was 5 years ago, and they are a cross-frontier musical organization that gives a year to every person on the planet if you have got a computer. Then how about the singer who doesn't have a computer, and then that singer is actually protected, but his popularity will be only in his land and in his area. The designation of water and the land masses, they were created for a specific purpose. You have looked at the Tower of Babel. That was to stop them from talking to each other and aspiring to be gods. Then we have got the Arabs now promoting Islam, and they have got Huffington Post in the UK with an Arab leg, and they are promoting that Christians should recognize Mohammad as a prophet. And what do we know of Mohammad? Of his lifestyle? It's a biography of a man who lived to his utmost satisfaction. He took everything that he wanted and he gave nothing to no one else. And the lifestyle is represented by the masses because they loved to have what he had. From abusing of children at the age of 9 to the many women that he raped, the countries that he robbed and invaded, and it's all called war. Now, religion is a war. The war of supremacy. The war of wanting yours as against what somebody else believes. The war of possession. And that is killing. You kill the ideologies of other people. You kill the other thoughts of other people. You kill the ignorant because of the fact that they follow you blindly. So that's another concept of kill that nobody has considered. You see, killing, I mean, you have to kill a cockroach because the fact that they are supposed to be vermin. But I take cockroaches out of my kitchen sink because they're always floating there, or there's food somewhere that I haven't detected and they eat it. But I still take them and put them out my window, kitchen window, and I don't bother about killing them. But if they're in my bed, I would certainly kill them because I don't want them crawling all over me. However, the concept of kill, you cannot do that basically if you think of kill in the global sense of do not deprive another of their right to coexist. even if it's worming. You don't feed them. You don't give them the opportunity to enjoy what you have, because they are really not wanted in your house. But as I've said in my missed opportunities, if you get yourself a cat, you get rid of the rats, but then the cat can't get on the roof, can he? So the rats will survive until some other predator kills them for food. Humans don't kill for food except for those who are the carnivores, and they eat meat, and I do too. And I say, well, if I stop eating my meat habits, it doesn't cater to my blood group. Because they say that there's a book published by people and you get all these books, but they say that some people have got a blood group and we were made to be hunters, and there are some blood groups which are made to be farmers. But on the whole, if you don't kill any animal, you don't have any food for survival. Then you go back to the Dark Ages, and why were people given some animals and they chose the ones that are omnivores? Because the fact that they eat grass, and then grass is only created by God. There is no human being who grass is there, not even a scientist. They've got to propagate the seed of grass from a seed that already exists. And that is where they get the seed from. Even your ova and your sperm is a creation that cannot be made by man. Then you have to understand that that is implicitly God and no other being who can create that. If a scientist can create an egg without having a source that comes from God, then we give due credit to that scientist for having done something great. Other than that, we have got to go back to the precepts of God, and He is the only person who has given us these 5 precepts. And it is followed by Jesus Christ, who says He is the Son of God. We will accept that, because the fact that He is the only prophet in the long years past and even today who can still create miracles. I have got arthritis for 3 years that I couldn't cure, and I was limping, and I was unable to walk. And I went to the Infant Jesus Church. I have faith, implicit faith in the Creator of water. I went to the church, I washed my foot with holy water, and I asked God, help me to walk, because I can't, I'm in pain, I've got work to do, help me to walk. And I came out of the church, and 1 month later I went to the newspapers to put an advertisement about my English lessons in the paper, and by some sheer coincidence I had to park my car miles away from the center because there's parking problems in Sri Lanka. And when I came out, there were no taxis to take me back to where I had parked my car, which is very, very rare. There are 1,000,000,001 taxis in Colombo, 3-wheel drivers and what have you. So I decided to walk. And when I reached my car, I realized that I had walked a distance of about 10 kilometers. And I had no pain in my foot. I have the medical records to prove it. I had gone for repeated sessions of ultrasound, and it gave me relief for about maybe 5 weeks, and then I had to go back, and then because of my age they said they wouldn't want to consider surgery because the fact that it could paralyze me. So the only recourse was my Creator. My parents, yes, but also designated by a more powerful being that I would appear with my set of parents, and I was blessed. So they could have aborted me like many people who do. They kill the child because they say that at the first week it is not a fetus, and then they give you the 4 weeks, and they give you the 5 weeks, and they give you the choice of terminating the pregnancy because it's a Down syndrome child, or it has got spina bifida or some other disease. And then the choice of killing is always in the hands of the person. It is not controlled, it is you, and you being the person who is a listener, it is your choice always to do right or wrong. The choice is yours, the intelligence is given to you to understand what the concepts are of these 5 precepts, nothing more. Kill. If you say that those are just the basics, you go into the next one, which is do not steal. You do not take what somebody else has. You pay the price, do you take it? Adopting somebody, adopting a child that is otherwise neglected. That is a good use of your wealth. But you don't take the child to put into slavery in your house. You don't take the child expecting that child to be yours. You don't take the child expecting her to be your vassal. You don't take the child with a plan of marrying her subsequently. You don't. You don't. Because of the fact that basically you do not steal the life of that person by using the authority given to you through the power of your money, not the authority given to you by the human race. So you use your money for abuse, you use your money for amassing land, you use your money for getting properties, and you use it because you like to have many, and you use it to buy hotels, and you use it for businesses, and you use it for what have you. You're paying the price, fair enough. You're paying a price, you're getting it rightfully, it is yours. It is your ownership because of the fact that you paid a price in money. What of the person who goes, a poor man who goes to a mortgage bank and he's having a hard time trying to make the payments every month to the bank? Banks are also the biggest crooks on the face of the planet. They are not here to help you unless you have got the means to help, be helped. You need to have the money, you need to have fixed deposits, you need to have savings accounts, you need to be a customer of their bank. Do they steal you? Yes, they do, because they will never give you a credit card without having some kind of lien, not in Sri Lanka in any case. So they steal your independence by making you beholden to them. You owe them money, you have to pay them back. And it's a question of walking them every day to get the monies paid. And otherwise they'll claim against you. They'll claim your house, they'll claim whatever it is under lien, which is a promise to pay. So the banks are the biggest crooks in town, and they are not here to do anything for you free, but to benefit off you. Now that is actually killing your independence. Did you think of it that way? No, you didn't. And they also covered your property, which is another way of looking at the same situation. You can analyze every single action of any person in industry, and they will call you, and they will harass you, and they will make you pay. If you take even a phone system, your mobile phone, you don't get it free, but they will cause enough of problems by making you pay them at whatever cost. What else is there? A system of killing. You can take any instance in life and that is killing. Cutting down a tree, for example, is killing. Cutting down a dead tree is not killing, and you can use it for firewood. Cutting down a live tree to make planks for housing. That's also a life, you see. There was a famous biologist called Dr. Jagdish Chandra Bose, and I was a keen enthusiast of biology in my school days. And he said that every plant has life and that it feels pain if it is uprooted. That was from a biology professor, and that was when I was in school. And when was I in school? I was in school in about 1952. I was born, let's say 1969. I was in school studying biology. And that was my favorite subject, about living creatures. I mean, that's where you get science taught you, and then you get to realize what life is about and the benefits of what they give you. It doesn't take old age to realize this. I think I've always been this. From the time I was a child, I used to always question everything, and I was a burden on my parents because the fact that I never accepted the decisions that they made, because I was a rebel at heart. But I never went against it because I honored them. They were my parents, and I helped them. I was the only one who helped them right throughout my life until the day they died. So that was some benefit from it. Now if you think about the next one, can be attributed to these 5 concepts of God and decent living. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. Steal. What can you do, let's say with a bank and an organization, what can you steal from them? By not paying your debts, by going to the insolvency courts and saying I'm unable to pay them, But you've taken loans, you've given them your word that you're going to pay them back, and you say, I'm sorry, I don't have any money to pay you. Judges in the tax department might come in and say, will you have the money to pay them? Will they allow them to? Because in that promise, you have not promised them that you would give them your houses and your property or your car when you took a loan against them. You said that you've got the money with them, but you've taken more than the money, and everything is ethical, everything is logical. So do you pay them back? You say no. And then will they bother you? If you take 10 years in a court case, you can afford it because you've got something free, which they haven't gotten an agreement. But they're basically very shrewd customers, you know. They're very shrewd customers. You're not a shrewd customer. You always get cheated by a bank somehow or the other. Their interest is in you. There's a bank that goes with that statement. It's their catchline. Advertising campaign. Our interest is in you, and you don't realize just how true that is. They do not steal. I've told you about the aspects of stealing a child's innocence and stealing a child's right to life, and stealing a child's freedom, stealing a child's, besides their own physical traits, which I don't want to mention because it makes me sick. I feel sorry for children. I've got a love for them, and I don't think that they should be abused in any way. Now, let's say if you say your father hits you, you're a young lad or a young girl, and nowhere in the Bible is it said the abuse of children, not in the Old Testament in any case, not with the 10 Commandments, but Jesus Christ says, if you do anything to a child, and you will have me to reckon with, or be thrown into the sea with a millstone around your neck. Now you try to translate that into another language, it makes a rest, because the fact that a millstone is only associated with windmills or with flour churning mills, and I mean basically if it's translated the way it is with their disaster in translations, it'll probably be that a millstone would be taken as a mill, as a windmill, and a stone as a stone, and then they make it together, and then you get a travesty of madness in a translation. But the New Testament, Jesus talks about the abuse of children. He also says, suffer little children to come unto me, and that is taken literally by the pedophiles and the maniacs and the perverts who want to abuse children. They say, suffer little children. Jesus died ages ago, so how does he get the children to him? They kill them. I've shown you in the books of Deuteronomy and all those, in the past clips, in the present one. If you look at the clips, if you have been listening, you can always go back and look at the clips. But it tells you how many ways that you can abuse children. It's given in the Sharia law. It is basically, you know, I mean, the rubbish is there. If there's not in the Sharia law, it's given as an example from the army general from Mecca. Do not steal, also addressed, besides just going to a bank and robbing something from them, or besides going to a shop and buying. Shoplifting. You think of the ethical and moral values of do not steal. It's got nothing whatsoever to do with the actual job of robbing somebody of something, but it's the other hidden traits about you rob somebody of their trust by saying that you will marry them and then you sleep with them. You rob somebody of their honor by sullying her name in public and going public and saying she is a whore or she's some kind of foul woman. You make horrid comments on a public page about the person whom you have discarded because the fact that you no longer want her, you've had her, you've used her. And the same could happen to men too. The women are vilifying the men that they have slept with and who have left them, or the rejected partner is given the boot. And not only that, it's also the filth, the slander, the harm that you wish to do to somebody else. These two aspects of killing and stealing somebody's honor can also then link and relate to bearing false witness, because you're saying things about another person which are not true because they come through your hatred or your venom or your desire for revenge, the feeling you want to strike back because the fact that that person has actually affected you, has made you feel small, has made you feel rejected, has made you think that the person is grasping, and in reality they might be fighting for their rights also to get what they have contributed to. The best way of settling a divorce is to consider that a divorce is a divorce. No matter what the reason is, you might be going with some other partner, your partner might be going with somebody else. If you want to have a clean and easy divorce, it's you don't claim, you don't covet, you don't claim. You don't want to cause harm, you don't want to cause damage to somebody else, you let them go and you just leave them in peace. You just tell them, okay, go. If you want to go, you go. No problems, no fear. Having an alimony means a dependence on the other person to constantly come back to you or you to go to them and ask them for the payments that are due to you. You've got children to support, whatever. I know it's a very hard life. There are women who have brought up children. They've got no dole system. They've got no family. They have been able to support their children on their own. And the only person that's helped them maybe is the Creator who made them. Circumstances are human. They are made by man. But an easy and peaceful settlement is never ask for alimony. Never tie yourself to the shackles and bonds that you are wanting to get rid of. Why do you want to maintain a connection and have that person coming to you and begging, and you going to a person and begging for that person for money to survive because you're having a bad time? But the divorce is a divorce. It has been caused by a lack of communication between people, and it has to be a fight. It can be peacefully settled. You don't have bearing false witness. You don't take revenge. There's no revenge in the 10 Commandments. But it can be converted to bearing false witness. You're bearing false witness against that person. You might not want to acknowledge that the person has contributed to the household and you don't want to give any funds, or you think that that the person should be punished. Then all you're doing is basically you're using one of the concepts of do not kill for killing that person's pride, or for killing that person's injustice that you feel has been done against you, or the partner might do something to you and you feel there's an injustice, but you find it the path of peace, just letting it go. Have trust and faith that the good Lord will help you, and you feel bad because of the fact that you have been despised, you have been made to feel humiliated, you have been made to feel publicly dishonored because of the fact that your friends know that you've got a divorce and you're a good person, or the person is your partner is a good person and you have been bad. But whatever it is, that's the only way you can get a freedom of all this, is to just let go, and to let go any need or want or aggravation that you're trying to covet and claim what somebody else wants to have. And it doesn't matter whether that person is going to, you feel that she's greedy, or that he's greedy, or he's aspiring and he's slept with other women, and why should you give him anything? It's not that. Basically, you're getting rid of a burden that has been in your life. And the only way you can get peace of mind is to let it go. And let it go happily. Now that's going to end this because the video is too long. 22 minutes, 23 minutes, I've got extra time. But I bid you a pleasant time of day, whatever time of day it is. And Allah be with you too, as I told you. Allah and God are the same being. But the one that the Christians follow is a do-not person. And the ones that the Islam followers follow is the person who says do. And that is not their prophet, but that is an army general from Mecca. Remember that. Take care of yourself. I'll be continuing the other 3 precepts of 5 living in the next video. I've used the videos from my own uploads to YouTube. You're welcome to listen to them. I have muted them so that then the voice can be heard. But have a pleasant life. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you, and I'll be with you again. Take care.